We here? Yeah. I'm right back at you like I never left, and I'm gonna go this hard to my last breath. It's a little Kenny Russell, Kanoom, Consul Moon. You already know what you're gonna give me. Step in this room. You're now dealing with Kanoom. I'm here. While I'm here, I'm gonna make the information direct and clear because a lot of y'all can't hear. Now, welcome back to Make My Ancestors Great Again. This is another episode of My Thoughts, and as the title states, God and all of his God and his army of liars. Okay, on My Thoughts 245. Now, this week I'm going to deal with this. People who profess that they was God given and God gave them these talents to do all these things that they were doing, but they were misleading people. Okay, so rule number one: if you're not telling the truth, you're lying. I don't know how you guys conclude liars and false information or wrong information, things of that nature. It's simple to me. If you're not telling the truth, you're lying. So all this week, we're going to look at God and his army of liars. People who said that God sent them, gave them the supernatural gifts and powers and all this stuff to do what they're doing. And it's a simple misuse and abuse of power, fictitiously perpetuated by them to you for their own gain of some type of power. Most of it is monetary and things of that nature. So we're going to see that this week. Let's listen to the ancestors and we'll get straight to it. If you feel like you want to do something for me, like and subscribe because it won't cost you a fee.
One thing you have to get through your mind and keep it. Nothing that ever came from the European mind was meant to do anything but facilitate European domination of the world. And I said there's no exception.
Okay, it's the ancestors. Nothing that was ever, nothing that ever came from the European mind was meant to do anything but facilitate European domination of the world. And there's no exception. Okay, today this might be a touchy one to some people. Okay, because the gentleman has passed on. Let me take that off. The gentleman has passed on. Okay. This gentleman was a world-renowned stature. He spoke against LGBTQ, I believe, in 2006, somewhere up in there. He marched with people that was going against the LGBTQ community, and he had a mega church. He was investigated, I believe, in '06 for misappropriating the church's money. I don't know whatever happened of these investigations, but I know he was one of the ones unwilling to give forth certain information so that this case can run smoothly. It got to a point that he got caught up in a scandal, okay, with four young men who he gave lavish gifts and vacations to, and he was alleged to be having sex with them. Now, going forward here, the gentleman passed away, so I want to be it's very touchy, so I want to be just direct on what I'm saying because I don't want to allege anything that he can't defend himself of in his death. What has been found out since his death is that a lot of people can confirm that he did these malicious acts. He bought these young men gifts. He bought these young men vehicles, cars, watches, luxury wardrobes, vacations, and things of that nature. Young men, teenage men. You hear me? While he was married to his wife. You hear me? So while he's this model citizen, a lot of people used to say, man, this man is sent from God. He was a liar. You hear me, African people? This is live and direct, and it's a little touchy, but no matter who it is, you don't get to duck scrutiny. You don't get to duck the allegations which people put you under. There's a lot of mega church pastors who's never been alleged of anything. They greedy as hell, but they never been alleged of things as malicious as these claims. And we see one here in today's time. T.D. Jakes been alleged of sleeping and having these parties with Puff Daddy. You hear me? Diddy. So the man I'm speaking about is Eddie Long, and we're going to hear from him, and I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions. If you you feel like you want to do something for me, like and subscribe because it won't cost you a fee. I don't own this video. It's a short. This is a fair use. I'm going to give my thoughts, opinions, scrutiny, and I believe this is a teaching moment. So let's look at the video.
Accused, I'm under attack.
What you're looking at here is Eddie Long after the accusations came out. A day after the accusations came out that he was sleeping with young men, after he was one of the model citizens to stand against homosexuality. No, that's wrong. A man need to be with a wife, and this, and you know how these silly church folks talk. They mighty until everything is what it said it is. What I mean by when the chips fall, they just dwindle down. They deflate. That same personality and persona that was this big, once the chips fall and you see who they was, they shrink and dwindle down. And that's what happened to this man in his life. He got sick. A lot of people thought he had HIV. They were alleging that. A lot of people were alleging he had some type of cancer. And I believe that's what he had. At the end of the day, he got smaller and he just decayed. Okay? You hear me, African people? So maybe that was a way of this God that he lied and said God was using him. Maybe that was God's way of getting him back in the physical. I don't know. I'm not into God. You hear me? I'm just showing you God and his liars. Okay? Now, why didn't God stop this man? If God is God, why didn't he stop him, shut him down? That's my opinion. That's my thoughts. Okay, let's continue.
I want you to know, as I said earlier, I am not a perfect man.
I've been accused of some things. No righteous man have been accused of anything like this just out of the blue. If they wasn't even a little bit involved in this type of scandal. Yeah, I mean, I got a hard to believe that. Just you sitting at home one day and they come say, hey man, you've been alleged of X, Y, and Z. And you have no connection. You don't live in the state. I mean, this is the type of things I'm saying. A lot of people don't understand stereotypes, but stereotypes still stem from real life and truth. Okay? You're sitting at home. What's the odds of this in Nebraska? And they say, hey man, in Atlanta, 4 young men said you sexually assaulted them. The percentage is very low that will ever happen. So, and you have no connection to the people. You've never met them, anything like, no. This was close-knit. All of the people that alleged he did these things to him worked with him, knew his son. He'd been on trips with him all around the world. So if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. This man sitting up here with a toupee on. You hear me? That's a toupee. When it looks artificial, and look at his face. Nothing about this looks real. Look at this man. His hairdo, that's artificial. But in Georgia, they always had the man unit before everybody else because that's the state of the open, closeted homosexual. Yeah, they openly closeted homosexuals. He was married, supposedly happy, doing God's work against the homosexual. But behind closed doors, he allegedly slept with 4 young men. You hear me? Let's continue. Now he's sitting here talking about, I've been alleged of something. Like I told you, I'm not perfect. I'm going to fight this. I'm going to fight this hard. I mean, come on now. This man is a homosexual. Well, he was, allegedly. What a wife. So he was an open, closeted homosexual. Let's continue, African people. This is a damn shame.
But this thing, I'm going to fight.
He lying there. That's why I'm playing this clip. I could go into him and prove to you other ways that he's a liar. But he's lying here. I'm going to fight this. I'll tell you what I'm talking about at the conclusion.
And I want you to know one other thing. I feel like David against Goliath.
They always give you some old rip-off bullshit, some old rip-off bull crap of a Bible scripture or story and say that that's them. I feel like David and Goliath. Did you feel like David and Goliath when you was going in them young men's rectum and having them perform sexual acts on you, or were you doing the sexual acts on them? Did you feel like David and Goliath then? You hear me? Let's continue, African people.
But I got 5 rocks, and I haven't thrown one yet.
He had 5 rocks. He haven't thrown one yet. And the reason I'm calling him a liar on that is because this man didn't fight anything. Let's be real. If you innocent of something that a person is accusing you of, what will you do? The righteous thing to do is fight. This man had plenty of money. He could have got any lawyer he wanted if he was innocent and beat this case. Guess what he did? That's why I called him a liar, and he's going to come on this. He's the first person on this week's program. My thoughts. God and his liars. He settled out of court for a dollar amount, undisclosed dollar amount that was in the millions. He didn't have time. He didn't have the ability, the money, the funding to pay his lawyers. The lawyers would have been cheaper to fight it than giving away millions of dollars. Just give them what they want. No, that's because he was guilty and he's a liar. I'm going to fight this. I'm like David and Goliath. I got 5 rocks and I ain't slung one yet. And he never slung one. See, when you get alleged of something that you guilty of, instead of running up all kind of money, fighting it, knowing you guilty, because they was going to find it out, he settled out of court. That's a damn shame, African people. And my thing is, where was God? You hear me? There is no God. Eddie Long was God, because God is the man that speaks for God. That's my thoughts on the video. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Kanoum, Consul Moon. You already know what you're going to get when you step in this room. You're now dealing with Kanoum. This is what I do, and I love to do it. And before I take back what I said, I add some more to it. This is not to take religion from you. This is to restore spirituality, which was taken from you at the time religion was given to you. This goes all the way back to the days of old. Abraham was a liar. He lied to his own son, talking about, hey, man, let's go. I'm going to get a sacrifice. He was going to kill his son. The son said, hey, where's the sacrifice? He said, hey, God going to provide one. I got the wood and stuff. When we get up there, God going to provide one. Never telling him that he was the sacrifice. You hear me? His own son. He lied about Sarah. When he went into different foreign towns, he said, that's my sister. So this goes back to the days of old. Moses was a blatant liar. Moses lied all through the first 5 books of Moses, in Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Numbers. All that is lies. So I'm going to bring you this week God and all of his liars. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and I thank you for watching. If you feel like you want to do something for me, like and subscribe, because it won't cost you a fee. Education and preparation is the first step to retaliation. So before you pick up a weapon or a silly religion, pick up some knowledge. If anybody's offended by anything you heard, I meant every word. Yeah.